What did you think of the news today out of New England that it's Jacoby Brissett over Drake Maye week 1? What's your 2 cents on that subject?
Without knowing what's happening in practice and retention of information and all of that, so I think it's the move. I think it's the move they planned on making. There's a lot of newness there. Right? You got a new person making personnel decisions. You've got a new head coach. You've got a room full of new. All 3 quarterbacks are new.
Mm-hmm. Coordinators. And what's new is you actually call them coordinators.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I think when you have that much newness and you have a rookie, when I do draft prep, I talk about newness. You're going to go from college to pro, and then everything's new. And so when you can remove some of that newness, like having somebody who has experience, like somebody who's been in tough spots, I think it's less about Drake Maye and more about Jacoby Brissett being the right guy right now. If you think about the situations Jacoby Brissett's been in, right? So he comes in, he learns New England's complicated offense early, right out the bat. He goes in Indy when they're in a total transition time. He's the starter in Cleveland in the middle of Deshaun Watson's suspension, where everybody around the building all day long is talking about the quarterback who's also suspended and not playing right now, having to play through that. I just think if I had to pick a backup to be a starter who's been through the most chaotic situations, I think Jacoby's actually pretty high on that list. Okay, so good move there, right? Bo Nix, does that surprise you that he's the week 1 starter in Denver? It doesn't, and I don't know that the football world's going to realize how good Jarrett Stidham is, so that tells me a lot that he beat out Jarrett Stidham. I know Jarrett Stidham lit it up in practice, played well in preseason. Only time he started games, he's kind of gone off. Yes. Like he lit it up versus Kansas City and San Fran. But I just think Bo Nix was just so ready. And when you have a young guy, you're kind of asking this question of, is he ready to play at the potential of what we drafted him to be? Not 5 years down the road, but is he ready to play at that level? Or is the newness, is all the new stuff around him going to keep him from playing at that level that we saw him play in college? And I think part of it is the amount of starts that Bo's had, the most ever, right, in college. 61. Part of it, though, is not a lot of these high picks have really dealt with adversity. A lot of these guys, Trevor Lawrence, for example, just kind of won a national championship as a true freshman and then had 2 great years to follow, right? Caleb Williams came off the bench, and historic deal at Oklahoma, transfers, wins the Heisman, and then has a really good, not a lot of them have really been through it. Bo Nix was on some bad Auburn teams and was blamed for a lot of it. I mean, his dad played there. He grew up there. That's a lot of pressure. He's been he has failed before and then went to Oregon and succeeded. And so I think his context for what it takes to play franchise quarterback, which you have to go through that. I think he's got a lot of that. And then in terms of the player, if you think about what made Sean Payton in his time with Drew Brees, there's a lot of there's a lot of the same things there in Bo. And the quick decision maker. He's never been a stupid interception thrower. Mm-hmm. He's very settled. He's married. He's very mature, kind of like Drew always was. Drew had 4 kids. The biggest difference is going to be Bo Nix is like an elite athlete. He's not fast for a quarterback. He's like fast. And so I get what Sean saw in him, and I absolutely get the decision to let's roll him out there right now and go.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.